Alright, we continue Wrestle-A-Thon with Sin No Evil 2, starring, my god, that's gotta be Kane. And he's wearing a mask, but he's still got no hair. And so the first one came out like 2006, when I was a senior in high school, right? And I always wanted a sequel to it. This is not what I wanted when and it announced this was coming out. So, Evil 2, it's coming out. And like, okay, how are they going to do that? It's been 8 years since the first one. Well, it takes place right after the first one, even though it's 8 years later, but it takes place in 2006 because it's like right after the events of the first film. And it's directed by the Soska sisters, who I know have gone on to do some good horror movies. And I've heard a lot of people say this one's better. Well, the visuals are better, but I don't see it. The ending always disappoints me. This is maybe the second or third time I've watched it. And I haven't watched it in a while, so I wonder why. Usually I ask myself why I haven't watched this in a while, and usually the answer is because you did not like it. Because it's the ending that gets me, because they build this one thing through the entire film, and then it's just pulled out from under you. And it really makes no sense either. So let's sit down and talk about it. So like I said, this movie takes place right after the events of the first film. But this sequel does something I hate with sequels. Besides Kane, it has none of the cast members from before. Remember our three survivors, actually. Michael, Christine, and Kira. Forget about them. They're not important. Even though they kind of would be going to the same hospital, if you think about it. Because all the thing is, these people, our main characters, they work in a morgue. Well, 3 of them work in a morgue. And morgue is in a hospital, so you think that the 3 survivors would also go to the hospital. But hey, they have aged 8 years, so it wouldn't work. Kane, aside from being just a little bit more dubby, hasn't really changed much. Whereas the others probably did. I know at least the actor who played Michael grew hair because he was in The Condemned with a little style code. But we got some actors here. We got one recurring actor besides Kane from another WWE film, and that is Michael Eklund, who we last saw in Marine 3 Homefront. He's back already. He plays the head of the morgue here, who's wheelchair bound for some reason. And I never understand why they write characters in wheelchairs like this. And the Chucky series, they have Nika in a wheelchair, and it only leads as a plot point. And in this one, it's, he can't get away from Kane because he's in a wheelchair. Yeah. Or Jacob Goodnight, whatever. But we do have some horror alum. Catherine Isabel from Ginger Snaps, and Ginger Snaps 2, and Ginger Snaps Back, and Freddy vs. Jason. And I think she was in some kind of Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps thing. Or maybe Goosebumps, I don't know. She's in one of them. And then you have, speaking of Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, you have the actor. I don't remember the actor's name. I can't remember. Is it on the back? Where's this stuff go? Say on the back. Nope. Wait. No, it just says Danielle Harris, Catherine Isabel, Michael Eklund. It doesn't say. I think it's like Kaz Erickson or something like that. I don't know how you say it. Kaz Erickson or something like that. He was Zeke.
Gotcha.
Not you. He was Zeke.
Gotcha.
Shut up. I'm going to shut the door on you. He was Zeke and Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, Tale of the Dead Man's Float. And he was also Billy in the Goosebumps 2-parter, Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So, He has horror roots. And then, of course, our lead is played by Danielle Harris. You may know from Halloween 4 and 5, or Hatchet, or Urban Legend, or Wish Upon a Star. That movie they did on Disney Channel, but it wasn't a Disney Channel movie. Everybody thought it was. Her and Katherine Heigl. But yeah. And also, one of the two naked chicks from, the blonde one. The blonde naked chick from Final Destination 3. That's all I can think of. Ashley or Ashlyn. I don't know which one it was. It was Ashley or something. I don't remember. She was one of them. And she was the blonde one. And she was also in the Stephen King It miniseries. Yeah, she was a little girl taken by Pennywise at the beginning. But anyway, she's in this as the slutty friend. Or it's kind of Isabel, the slutty friend, because they have, I don't know. But it's Amy, our main character, played by Danielle Harris, and it's her birthday. And so she's getting ready to leave to go hang with her friends, but then they get all the bodies from the hotel, and they like all the fresh killed bodies, and the only body we actually see, bodies I guess you say, are Jacob Goodnight, but he's not really dead, and the mom. And it's not even the same. They couldn't even get a dummy of the same actress. It looks nothing like her at all. At all. But, yeah. So they have to stay behind, and she decides to stay behind, but her friends show up anyway. And we get our... Now, I'm not exactly sure how old these are supposed to be, but Danielle Harris was in her 30s by this point, and Catherine Isabel was reaching that far, if what not already 30. I think she's younger than Danielle Harris, but I don't know. Are they supposed to be in their 20s? Because I'm pretty sure a few of them were in their 30s. Michael Eklund's in his 40s, so I don't know. But they are having her birthday party in the morgue. That's a good idea. And so Tamara, that's Isabel's character, and her boyfriend sneak off, and they find Jacob Goodnight's body, and she decides to sit on top of the dead corpse, well, we think is a dead corpse, and grind on him. But after this, she starts having sex with her boyfriend, and it's that stupid kind of sex scene where the actress has a no nudity clause, but we're still going to have her have sex anyway. So she's basically fully clothed having sex with her boyfriend, and no one ever has sex like that except for in movies. But they want to have a sex scene, they got to get around a no nudity clause, so this is what you get, even though it's very impractical to do so. I've said it before. My ex, we tried, and she got uncomfortable and ended up taking the rest of her clothes off. So, yeah, normal people, real people don't do that. You can't do that. It's uncomfortable with having some clothes on when you do it. It's just a lazy way for PG-13 films or movies like that where there's a no nudity clause and you can't get around it. You have to get around it, so you did. Just take it out. Just take the scene out. Just don't do it. I'm just saying. But apparently, seeing dead dudes turns her on because she's having sex with her boyfriend, and then we see the body is gone. So are we supposed to believe that Jacob Goodnight was brought back to life because he was turned on? Well, given that in the first one he was told that sex was a bad thing by his mother, could be. I mean, the whole thing with Jason Voorhees is like he has this sixth sense. You could be dead, laying there dead. Some teenagers have sex. Boom, Jason's alive. He's gonna kill them. And like, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to do that. But like, she was grinding on him basically, and then he's up and moving around, and then he gets this mask. That one, kind of like the Cody Rhodes mask, sort of. There's like a burn victim's mask or something earlier. But he kills the boyfriend, and then she's flopping around, help me! And trying to get him, and they're like, she runs into them. Michael Eklund dies too, after the boyfriend. Because he has the hook, which he doesn't use the hook as much. He uses this weird looking machete knife. It's got a curve. I'm not exactly sure what that would be used for. Maybe it's like a cutting tool for morticians. I don't know, because he gets it from there. I don't know. Yeah, most of our main characters die, and it's so quick that it's like, why'd they even bother to tell the story? Because you think like, okay, there's gonna be 3 left, like the last one, and it's gonna be Amy, her brother, and the love interest guy. I forget it. Seth. I almost called him Zeke.
Got Chip?
Shut up. And but no, like everybody fights it. The Catherine Isabel gets not decapitated, and now why could you just do a decapitation? He like takes it, boom, and he goes, but it doesn't cut through. Yes, it's more realistic, but after you hear what goes on in the later half of the film, you're gonna wonder why they were so realistic when what I tell you is not realistic at all. But anyway, yes, it is realistic because you couldn't chop through the bone that quick. You see Jason Voorhees just decapitation, but it just and it's like a big there. And then he also takes to Seth and he uses like a turkey cutter or something, like a But they're able to cauterize it, even though it's like a cut here. But they're able to cauterize it later. I don't know. But basically, the last part of this movie is Amy and Seth running from Jacob Goodnight because everyone else is killed so quickly, and it makes you wonder why they even had this subplot with the brother, where he's going off on Seth, going, "You're not good enough for her. She needs to go back to med school because that's what she needs to do." Only for him to be killed off, and it's like, shouldn't he be one of the survivors with the other two so that you can set up he's do what you want to do, and then these two are a couple. Well, as you can see, any and all character development in this film goes fucking nowhere. It does. It really does, because so frustrating. So after everyone else is killed, it's down to Amy and Seth, and they're running from Jacob Goodnight. They're in this thing. They cauterize the wound, and then we have this scene. She gets this window open, but she can only get it open enough for her to squeeze out, because of course. And so they finally have the moment where they kiss, and they're okay. There you go. And she gets out. She goes, "I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get the car." She's in her keys are somewhere else, so she's gonna use his keys, his crappy blue car, and get out there. Why do they need to get to a car? I don't understand this. They seem to think they can't leave without a car. Why? Like, why do they need a car? Just get out and run the fuck out of there as fast as you can. Forget about the car. Just run. But no. She gets out and she goes to get the car, but she hears Jacob coming, so she goes back in the fucking hospital instead of running in the opposite direction like she should have to him. And then she's like, "Hey, the side entrance. Let's go to the side entrance." And despite the fact that he was just in the back, when she goes to the side entrance, she gets stabbed in the fucking gut because he's right there for some fucking reason. And somehow he has Jason Voorhees from Part 8 teleporting powers, which makes no sense because he was way across on the other side of the freaking hospital. Outside, I might add. Oh, and it doesn't get any more common sense, people. So she dies. Our main character, our final girl, dies. And the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, she's gonna pop back up and kill Jacob Goodnight. Nope, she's dead. That's it. She's dead. She's dead. And there's a moment later when Seth goes back and finds her body, and you think she's gonna wake up. Nope, she's dead. She is dead. So all that love interest stuff with them, down the shitter, because doesn't matter. She's dead. And what is our payoff for the love interest? Well, a kiss before stupidity. Yeah. So anyway, it's down to Seth and Kane or Jacob Goodnight, whatever, and they have a little fight. Seth gets his ass kicked, but then he stabs him with this needle thing and fills him with embalming fluid, which supposedly kills him. I say supposedly because it should have. Because human beings, you see, they can't have the embalming fluid in them. It kills you. But this is horror movie, so that guy doesn't die. So Zeke finally gets outside, climbs out the now broken window, because Kane broke it earlier. Gets outside, he gets to his car, and he starts to drive, right? He gets in right away, and he drives. Okay. Again, why do you need a car? Just go. Get out of there. Forget your car. No, he gets in the car, and then he drives. But he has to stop because there's a gate in the hospital. What hospitals have gates? I mean, I know there's some, but well, I guess ours has a little closed one, I guess, too. But I've never really seen them used. Maybe at night they are. I don't know. I've never walked by our hospital at night.
Quick question. What kind of gate are you talking about?
It's like a gate where it's like this, and you gotta unlock it, and you gotta open it like this, like it's a...
Oh, I thought you were talking about one of those parking gates, because Mayo Clinic has them.
It could be, but this hospital doesn't look fancy enough to be like them. Like the one here or the one in Roch?
Roch.
Yeah, that one would, but the one here, we don't have that fancy. I've seen when they do construction, they'll have something covered off, but I've never seen anyway. So he goes to open this gate, and then he turns around, and the back door to his car is open. Bullshit. There is no way that Jacob Goodnight Kane could get from the embalming lab, whatever the fuck it's called, to the backseat of his car before he gets in the car. And keep in mind, when he goes to get out, they show the car. There's no one in there. Big ass Kane not gonna hide behind a seat, okay? It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, when Jordana What's-Her-Face gets in the car and starts to drive, and she gets stabbed through the gut because Big Billy Chainsaw Boy, Leatherface, was hiding in the back. No fucking way. No fucking way is someone that big is gonna hide in the back of the car. But no, he was hiding there. Not only that, he has somehow gotten to the other side of the gate before the door was open. That had to be before the gate was open. Somehow he's on the other side of the gate when he backs up into him, and we finally get one thing of the eye gouging. It was all over the place in the first one, but he gouges out his eyes. And, yeah. Gouge, I don't know what gouges mean. Gouges out his eyes, and the movie ends with showing all the dead bodies, and it's and again, they go back to Amy's body, and I'm thinking, the first time I watched this, she goes, so does she still alive? No, she's dead. Everyone is dead. So it ain't all character development in this movie besides Kane, which isn't much, down to shitter. The whole, well, they won't their love interest, doesn't matter, they both die. Right? I hate it when movies do that. I hate it when they kill off every character, because all the character development just shrivels up and goes away, because it doesn't matter. So now, I can never rewatch this again, because I'm not going to be invested in anything in this movie, because everyone dies. I consider me cool kills, but what's the point? I'm not going to be invested in these characters. If I know the characters are going to survive, like Ginny in Friday the 13th Part 2, still know what happened to Paul, but she survives, and even other characters, other final girls. I think the writing needed to be better. I think the script needed a few more rewrites before, the ending didn't need to be, and it doesn't make any sense that he could be skewered and filled with embalming fluid, which will fucking kill you. It will kill you. And yet he's still alive, and he's dripping with ghoul because he's got the blue embalming fluid dripping down his arms when he pops out Ezekiel's eyeballs and Seth, whatever, don't even say it. Seth's eyeballs, and just, I don't know. People say this is better than the first one. The only thing I can say that's better in this one is the editing, and the cinematography doesn't look like somebody peed all over the negatives, okay? But other than that, but they show flashbacks to the first one, and they didn't change any of the cinematography or the editing, so it's the same thing, and so it's jarring when you go show the flashbacks to the first one, and then you go to this one, it looks a lot better, but I still prefer the first one. I'm sorry. I think this is the first one where I say it's not worth your time. it pissed me off, but not enough for it to fry in hell, because it's not that bad. It just, there's some decent kills, there's some decent like chase scenes and stuff, but it's one of those chase scenes where they're falling down all the time, which I never get in horror movies. Like, is it just like you don't know how to run? Horror movie characters don't know how to run, and they're falling down, and they do it not once, but twice, because you got Catherine Isabel, and then Seth later flopping over the place trying to run away. It's like you see a horror killer and your legs just go and you can't walk, or what is it, like a magic power that he has? Those are only two that it happens to, so I don't know, but yeah, it's not worth your time. So, what are your thoughts on See No Evil 2? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. And up next, I need to look, is oh great, it's the WWE Flintstones movie with CM Punk Rock. No, I'm not kidding. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.